If I ask you what is the word for creation in Sanskrit or any of the Indian languages, you will most probably say Srishti, but the truth is that we don't have a word for creation in our languages. That very idea did not exist in the Indian mind. All the words that we use today, such as Srishti, Sarjan, Srijan, they have all come from the root Srij, which means to emit, to bring forth something. You may appreciate that meaning more when you consider the word Visarjan. So all these words are not really about creating, they are about bringing out something, they are about making something manifest. Actually, it is true with the other words also. For example, another word that we use for creation today is Utpatti. And Utpatti also simply means bringing up something. It is about manifesting it. It is not really about creation as such. So we don't have a word for creation because that idea itself did not exist in the Indian mind. And that idea itself did not exist in the Indian mind because it is just an idea, it is a fancy. It has nothing to do with reality. In reality, there is nothing called creation. And the Indian mind was not interested in fancy, it was only interested in seeing reality as it is. We were never interested in conception, we were only interested in perception of reality. You just see what the Western mind has gone through in regards to this. First, they came up with the fancy called creation. Then they did a lot of science. And finally, they declared that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed as a great finding. Well, it is only because they had come up with the fancy that they had to negate it with a law later. But the Indian mind never even came up with such a fancy, so they never even had to state a law to negate it. It is inbuilt in the language itself. By not having a word for creation, they are implicitly stating that there is no such thing as creation, nothing can be created. Actually, this is just one example to point out just how deep the colonial influence has percolated into the Indian mind. Without our knowledge, we have also succumbed to their theological concepts and we have adjusted our vocabulary to fit into their meanings. So it would require a great deal of awareness to decondition ourselves from this state, to dehypnotize ourselves, because the very way we are thinking today has been conditioned. If they say that we have a great theory of creation, we will say we have a greater theory of creation in our scriptures. So unknowingly, we will react and we will become the same thing that we are fighting. We will become one more kind of conception. We will not realize that India was never about theorizing and conception. It was about perceiving reality as it is.